we've been talking about God as being the creator of everything. Obviously, we see that expounded in the book of Genesis. And it seemed like, for centuries and centuries of the church, once Christianity was legalized by the Emperor Constantine in the early 300s, that the church was able to spread and Christianity was able to spread, not only in the East, but also in the West. And it seems like in modern times, in the last 100 years or so, we see more and more people turning away from God, either claiming to be an atheist or agnostic and saying, we don't know, we can't know that there's a God, or I don't really care if there's a God. How do you think we as a society got to this place?
Well, that's a long intellectual history, right? And actually, we get to that place actually in Genesis, right? So, God creates everything, and at the very end of creation, he says, not just that it's good, he says it's very good, right? And Augustine points this out. But then something happens, right? Humans sin. And whether it's a sin of disobedience or pride or however sort of theologians have thought about that, that means in some sense we've already turned our back on God. So that error happens there. What we see now is just a sort of ongoing manifestation of that. So at one level, I don't think our time's actually especially unique in that sense. Human beings from the very beginning have wanted to deny the existence of God. Perhaps we're more outgoing about it now, more confident in denying the existence of God. But the other thing about creation, and this is something you get in Franciscan theologians, St. Bonaventure talks about this a lot. He says not only are human beings made in the likeness and image of God, but really all created things bear some image. He calls it the vestiges, almost like the footsteps of God. So even an ant or I don't know why, but somehow even mosquitoes bear the image of God with them. And so you can see God in all created things, right? So it's not, and really, as St. John Paul II said, if you really begin to ask questions about creation, you start paying attention to creation, it's going to lead you back to questions about God, because inevitably it leads back to where did all this come from? Why? The fundamental question, right, which is why is there anything at all? Why does existence even happen? That's when you start thinking about creation carefully, it leads you back to questions about God.